Again, Christian Rodriguez, and today I'm going to talk about what I've been doing for the past 12 years when it comes to fitness and what I noticed it's worked with me, right? So I would say I've been working out consistently for the past 12 years. Since high school football, I've been working out consistently, and it's been great. It's been a long journey. I don't want you to think that this was a cakewalk for me either. It wasn't. It's even today. Like there's days that it sucks and I don't want to do it, but you got to do what you got to do. But I just wanted to talk about what you need to. I guess like what worked with me for all these years that I've been doing fitness, right? And recently, right, I moved to Chicago, right? So I had a bit of a change of routine. Before that, I was doing Muay Thai. I did it for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And I've done boxing on and off for years. I've also, I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for close to 3.5 years. I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then before that, I was always like going to the gym, like lifting weights. I've played high school football. I wasn't good at high school football. I'm not telling you I was. I sucked at it, but it got me in shape. It contributed. I would say it contributed to me being physically fit, or me building a foundation to getting physically fit. Right. I've ran track. I've done a lot of calisthenics during COVID when gyms were shut down and no one was working out because everyone was eating cookies, probably, watching things that they shouldn't be watching on the internet, like watching Netflix while eating a tub of ice cream. But I actually started watching videos on YouTube, TikTok, and I was just doing the workouts on a yoga mat. I still do them today. Days that I don't go to the gym, I do them in my room. I have a yoga mat. I'll pull it out, but I have to walk through a bunch of stuff, so I'm not going to do it this second. But yeah, I have a yoga mat. I'll do different workouts. Maybe I'll do some shadow boxing workouts. You've seen it in one of the reels I posted. It actually did pretty well. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about today was, I guess, what did I learn from doing fitness for all these years? What did I learn from just sticking with fitness? And what was something that's really worked with me and that I use in other aspects of my life. It's just being consistent with it, right? Because for most of the time you do fitness, it's gonna be boring, first of all, or it's gonna suck, it's gonna hurt. It's going to be three things. It's going to be boring, it's going to suck, it's going to hurt, or it's going to be very mundane. After a while, it's going to be one of those three things, or all three of them at the same time. And the thing about it, you have to think about it like this. You have to think about it with a growth mindset. You have to think about it from each day, right? Obviously, you got to look at progress. With fitness, it's kind of easy, right? If you're going for like success, business, it's not as easy. But you want to see progress. Maybe you start noticing like your arms are getting bigger. Maybe you're losing body fat. You're starting to see abs, right? Maybe you're getting a wider neck. You're getting a better jawline, whatever it is, right? But you wanna start focusing on what you can do, right? Like you want to focus on the inputs, and then you want to like notice a little progress that you're making, right? So I would say the biggest thing that you need to like start doing is find like some sort of routine, like find a system in place, like a routine. Similar to business, but you want to think about some sort of physical routine you can start doing, right? And you could go to one of these YouTube channels. My favorite YouTube channel that I like doing like the follow along workouts for is Thenx by Chris Herrera. He has a very good channel. He has a very good calisthenics channel, bodyweight workouts. I love doing his workouts on days that I don't go to the gym, because they challenge me, and He'll get me to sweat. You can also look at some shadow boxing workouts. MMA Shredded. Great guy. I've met him. I've gone to his retreats. He's a coach. He also posts a lot of sparring videos if you're into that stuff. But he has a ton of great stuff. Like, he has a lot of good shadow boxing workouts too that I do. But you just gotta pick one thing. Just pick one sort of like physical activity you want to do and just do it 3 to 5 days a week. If you're a psycho like me, you do it every day. But I'm not going to tell people to do it every day because, let's be honest, most people aren't going to do it every day. I guess what I learned from it though is you just got to stick with one thing, right? You just got to stick with it. Start doing it often. Just get good at it. It's gonna hurt. Eventually, it's not gonna hurt. But you get really good at the physical activity, the fitness, right? And then from there, you start looking at. You start seeing results. And from there, you another thing you can start doing. You can start taking some sort of supplements. Like what I do is I take creatine. I do take creatine, and I do track my mat. Actually, tracking is a very, very important aspect of fitness that is constantly overlooked. I've been doing fitness for 12 years, and I'm telling you right now, I've seen more progress in the past 6 months than I have in my entire 12 years of doing fitness with my physique. Because I started tracking my macros. When I started bulking, which was in the summertime, I know, weird time to bulk, but it is what it is. But when I started bulking, right, first of all, before I started bulking, I was like, oh, I'm athletic. I could do Muay Thai. I could do jiu-jitsu. I'm getting better at it. But when it comes to lifting weights, I don't lift the heavy weights, and I'm like, maybe it's a genetic thing. And I started thinking like, oh, maybe it's genetics. Maybe I was born that way. Maybe that is what it is. My body can't just handle more, right? But then, that's just a limiting belief that I was putting in my head, right? But then when I started tracking my macros, right, I started realizing I'm not eating nearly as much protein as I should be eating for the amount I work out, for the amount I lift weights. And once I started tracking my macros, all of my lifts have gotten stronger. Everything. I have gotten stronger. It's no joke. Because I use MyFitnessPal. You can use whatever you want. That's the one I'm familiar with. I don't know the other ones. But that alone made me far better. That made me stronger. I don't overeat. That's another thing. When you have to put numbers into a phone every time you eat, you're not going to indulge in donuts, because donuts, you have to track them. And it's kind of annoying. So it adds a barrier, which is good. It adds a good barrier, adds more friction to eating shit food. It adds more friction to eating food in general, but now eating shit food, there's friction, so you're not going to eat the shit food. So that's what I love about it. And yeah, I'm on my second bulk. So I just ended a cut, and my cut is I just ended it, so now I'm gonna start bulking. So soon you'll probably start seeing me get chubby from time to time, but that's part of the bulk. I might cut it short before I get too fat. But you want to start looking at what you can you want to start focusing on like the inputs. That's really what fitness is about. You're not going to see, if you're a beginner, if you're a complete beginner, you're not going to see results for a long time. You're going to see little results here and there, but you're not going to just wake up next week and you're going to be jacked. Unless you were already jacked and you lost it, then of course you'll gain it a lot faster. But if you were never jacked before, it's going to take a long time, right? And yeah, I would keep looking at those things. I I would keep I do take creatine. That's one thing I do. You don't have to take creatine. I do. I've seen results with it. I work out daily, and I also learned as a cognitive enhancer, so that's another reason why I take it, so I could focus on, like my business activities. I could focus on other things, studying. But yeah, that's a very I do take, I take 10 grams of it also every morning. But I don't do anything like crazy. Like I don't take extra stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. I make sure I'm physically active. Maybe I'll walk. I'll make sure I walk 10K steps. Today I didn't really do it. Some days don't condone it. Some days I don't do it just because sometimes stuff gets in the way and I have to do something else. But I also don't really believe in rest days unless you're forced to do it. Like if you're sick, maybe you get injured, and even if I'm injured, I find a way to do something. But if you're sick, if you're if maybe you have to do a lot of work that day and you just can't do it, or there's a travel day and you just can't squeeze it in, then of course. But I find some way to do it, even if I have to do just like push-ups, like 50 push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, squats. If that's all I have to do, then I'll do that. I'll just do calisthenics, like light calisthenics or something. I think it's better than doing nothing, because the way I see rest days is I don't think our bodies are made to just, like, when people say rest days, the thing is, people say rest days, right? People say you have to take rest days, right? The thing is, I think people misconstrue what they mean by rest days. What I mean by rest days, right? But I think, like, most fit guys, like the top fitness guys, mean by rest days, they mean by, like, maybe take an active rest, right? Walk in the park, right? Maybe walk with your girlfriend. Be some form of physically active. I don't think they mean sit in the couch or be sedentary all day. I don't think that's what they mean, and then eat a tub of ice cream. That's not really what they mean, because I know a lot of people think of rest days, they think, oh, but if you work out too much, you can get injured. And you can get injured if you work out too much, but I'm not telling you to go hard every single day. That's not what I do. I don't go hard every single day. I'll go hard maybe 2 or 3 days a week, right? And then the other days, the days that I'm not going hard, I'll take an active rest. I'll do a light workout, do the bare minimum, or I'll walk, right? Because those things add up, and it's an active rest, and they help you recover. Also, another thing I've been doing it since I started training combat sports, and that's, I train full body. I don't do, like, push-pull legs. I used to do that before COVID. I don't do that anymore. I don't think it's, I'm not the biggest fan of it. And my reasoning behind why I'm not the biggest fan of it is because if you want to work out, say you want to work out legs, right? Most guys don't work out legs, they skip leg day. But if you're working out full body, you're working out legs every day anyway. And I just find it more efficient, and I also think it works better for my body. Plus, I've been doing combat sports. That's naturally a full body type of training routine anyway, right? When you do combat sports. So I didn't really have time to just do chest, right? Chest day, and then go do jiu-jitsu, and then have a leg day. Like, no, because then I would do legs once a month if that was the case. So it's better just to do full body, in my opinion. I've seen more results with it. I think it's much more enjoyable than just focusing on one muscle group. Either one's fine. I know people are going to tell me that that focusing on one muscle group is super important. Sure, if that's really important and you think it's important, then you know what? Don't listen to me. Just do that. But that's just personally my opinion. Full body works very well for me. I've I've gone stronger just doing full body. I'm still in really good shape because I've done full body. Yeah, but that's what I've been doing for the past year. That's what I've been doing for. I've been bulking for the past year. No, not bulking, but I've been training for the past 12 years. For the past year, I've been, I've done jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and since moving to Chicago, I'm only lifting. And yeah, you just got to stick with one thing. That's really what it is. Start sticking with one thing, and that's just going to get you used to doing like physically hard things. And then from there, you could start doing other things. You could venture out with jiu-jitsu. I'm going to make another video on this, but I seriously think combat sports is something that a lot of guys overlook. I personally think it's better than the gym. And they both have their own place if you don't have access to it, but I think combat sports is superior than the gym. And I might get some backlash from this, but yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much. Shoot me a follow. I'm going to keep posting more content like this. Take care.